So, what are maybe the most, I think, the biggest misconceptions or the mistakes that you have the opportunity to provide your point of view to security leadership that is now watching us? What are the things that they should be mindful of when they try to tackle this Log4j crisis?
What we've discovered, and we have a pretty tight environment, is the whatever our exposure we thought our exposure is was probably 1/10 of what our exposure ended up being, and knowing that quickly was the game changer. So that's mostly what I'm worried about. The reason I'm somewhat relaxed is because we did scan everything, we did use your tool, and we've discovered that our footprint is way bigger than we thought it is. Right? Mostly not just because of the software that we've written, but the third-party software that we use, and knowing how all that interconnects and how that basically may have exposure to the external services, and basically being able to look at the whole security graph and see the dependencies, see the trees, and see the exploits that someone might take, and trying to close that down really quickly.
Yeah, so it's actually one is a discovery of every instance of the Log4j, then also the ability to maybe see it in the context of what should be fixed first and how to prioritize it, what is externally facing, what is like high privileges, and then like closing it one by one. But what you point out is that basically the long tail of systems that we are not aware that they are vulnerable, this is what's going to haunt us for.
Well, I worry about two things. One thing, I'm going to be working over the next few weeks to bring the whole industry together, because I don't think you just may be able to help by yourself. One of the aspects of having open source software is people reuse the libraries, which is what's happening here. And then the second thing is very frequently people cut and paste the source code.
Oh.
Right? And they put it into their systems. And knowing that exposure, since the component is so widely used, I don't know, that's going to be pretty hard.
So we're going to see variations or this same.
I mean, what do you think? You're also in security. I think that there's going to be a lot of variations. And basically, that's where the industry needs to come together to help the rest of the world deal with the issue.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that from our experience with vulnerabilities, usually when there is like a high profile vulnerability in one area, it shines it, and then we know how to patch it, but also others are looking for other vulnerabilities in this area, and it becomes like a hotspot. And I think this is exactly what we're going to see across copy-pasted code, across the same libraries, versions, and because it is so pervasive, I think this is what's going to really change the way we do security. I think that the ability to really identify and remediate such systems in the most shortest time before an attacker can get to it, I think that's what's going to be the measuring factor for the industry in the upcoming months, because the vulnerability is so easy to exploit. You log everything, and you basically change a user agent, and that's it. You're logging a user agent, and you can run code.
It's important to mention that the component has been in existence since 2013. So this is not a new vulnerability. It's a new vulnerability that has been made public recently. And the danger is not the fact, in some ways, maybe some state-owned actors may not have known about this, but I'm pretty sure one way or the other, state-owned actors across the globe, you can assume that they had an idea about it, right? The danger here is it's so simple that a kid, everyone from a state-owned player all the way down to a 13-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid who just wants to go out and play can go out and take over it's a server. You need to go cut and paste the code. There's plenty of libraries that are available, and you can mount your own attack. And, this does not need to be some country that we're afraid of. It might just be a middle schooler who is just exploiting something and accidentally does something wrong. And then you say that you can go from middle schooler to people who are just adversarially want to do stupid things, to professional criminals, to state-owned actors. The number of these people is so hard and so large that creates the fragility. And that's what I'm mostly fearful of, right? That it's just basically an ecosystem. It's like instead of mining Bitcoin, you're going to go mine this, and maybe you'll get some money.